Hey, good morning. This is Caitlin from Bandy's Books, and I am here for my reading sprint. I'm super excited about that. Wow, the lighting in here is weird. Hold on just a second. I'm going to turn on an extra light. All right, there we go. It's a little bit more even now. So reading sprints today. I'm very excited about the reading sprints. We've been having some really good sprints the last few weeks, and I've been making really great progress on the books that I have been reading. I decided to do this previously when I was running sprints before, where I would basically just dedicate one or two books to my sprint time throughout the month. And so I have been working my way through Chlorine and through After Parties, which is a collection of short stories about Cambodian Americans in Southern California. So I am pretty close to being finished with Chlorine. I think I have like 70 pages left in this novel. And then After Parties, I just kind of started. I'm about 30 pages in. I started it last week on the reading sprints. So I think I'm going to try to knock out Chlorine first because I am so close to being done with this. And then whatever time I have left after completing Chlorine, I will dedicate to reading After Parties. And then for my sprints next week, it's going to just be a focus on finishing up After Parties. So I've got those two here. If those aren't working, I also have a third option called Trinity, which is by Erika Kobayashi. This is a translated fiction from Japan, and it is about nuclear fallout, essentially. There is a plague. It's like in the run-up of the Olympics in Japan, and there's a plague that is affecting elderly people called Trinity. It's leaving them confused, disoriented, and with like dementia. And yeah, there's some stuff going on with like nuclear reactivity and stuff. So it's an interesting book. I did start it last night. I just read the first chapter, so I'm only about 20 pages in, and I'm still kind of getting a feel for how this book is going to go. So that's a potential as well if I like finish Chlorine and get some progress on After Parties. But I may pick this one up a little bit more next week since I'll be done with Chlorine by then. So aside from that, I also have myself a pandan latte. This is from one of my favorite coffee shops in the area called Evergreen. They do some really cool flavors. Last week I had a butterscotch bourbon latte from them, but they also do like a soy sauce caramel flavor that I really, really enjoy. So they've recently added pandan to their menu. And so I was like, oh, I really enjoy this flavor. I've never had it in coffee before. So I was really excited to give it a try, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm listening to I Am Nobody's Slave. Chlorine was great. I loved it. Good morning. How are you today? Chlorine has been an interesting read for me so far. I'm about halfway, so I haven't decided exactly how I feel about it yet. I'm still kind of waiting to see like how it gets wrapped up. I do like the writing style. I think my biggest thing is I just didn't necessarily need all the graphic description that's in there sometimes. I was out of clean travel mugs this morning, so no coffee for me. Yeah, so I do have a bunch of travel mugs myself, but this particular coffee shop, I don't know if you could see it, but it says For a Better World here, and these are recycled plastic cups. So this is like one of the few ones where I don't actually feel like, not that I don't have to bring my own travel mug, but I don't feel so bad about the plastic. Hi, I can't make coffee till I finish my chores. I'm jealous. Laugh out loud. Looks delicious. Okay, well, you're here for sprints, so we can use those sprints for productivity. You don't have to do it for reading. And hopefully we can get you some progress on those chores so you can have your coffee, right? I'm still reading Love Lettering by Kate Clayborn, such a sweet book. Good. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Oh, I just make lattes at home, but I can go without. Fair. For me, I wish that I could make coffees at home. I think that like I've had good quality espresso machines at home before and bought like really nice quality espresso. And I work in a coffee shop now or for a coffee company. And so it's not like I don't know how to make good quality drinks at home, but I think for me, it never tastes the same as like going to a coffee shop. So when I go on my own, like today, I always try to visit like the little local coffee shops. I rotate. There's a handful of them in my area. So I rotate between the different local coffee shops. And then that's like my moment for myself in the morning. I just like to get myself like a little pastry and a little coffee before I take Luna on a long walk. Speaking of which, Miss Luna is knocked out over here. Don't mind the pile of books in the background. We went for a long walk this morning at Cornerstone Lake, which is down the street from me. It's only really about a mile, but it's starting to get hot here in Vegas. We're trying to get those long walks in before it gets too hot. So she's currently knocked out. But if you hear squeaking or anything in the background, it means she's woken up and started playing with her toys. Oh, actually, fun story. So yesterday I took Luna to get groomed for the very first time. She needed like a nail trim and like some gland expression and stuff like that. And so I took her to local groomers. They did it. They gave her an A plus. They said she was the best dog that they've had in a really long time. The cashier gave her a treat. And then while we were in line, this like very sweet lady in front of us actually just turned around and was like, "Your dog's so cute. Here's an extra toy." And so Luna got 2 toys, 2 treats, plus an A plus report card. So it was like a really good day for her. Hearts and smileys. I use a French press. Nice. French presses are a great way to make coffee. Hi, I'm reading Direct Descendant. It's a cozy horror. I'm working on a post and then I'll do some reading. Awesome. Love it. What is your most anticipated book release this year? Oh, it's so hard to say because there's so many great releases. I mentioned this in a book tag I did a couple weeks ago, but probably one of the ones I was most excited about was Death of an Author by Nnedi Okorafor. I really enjoy Okorafor's writing. That's one that I picked up from Aardvark. Been hoping to get to really soon. But there's so many great reads out right now. It's like really hard to whittle it down to just one. Yay, Luna. That is so awesome. Great job, Luna. Yeah, I was a very proud dog mom. So it was nice because I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh, I hope that like since it's the first time, she's not going to be a brat, but she did really, really good. Death of the Author was awesome. I've been hearing really good things. I think in that video where I mentioned it, I had several people comment as well and said, "Oh, I've already read it. It's so good. You're going to love it." I really enjoy Okorafor's writing. And in particular, I love like her Afrofuturistic sci-fi concepts. And so I'm really excited to see, it sounds like this particular book is going to go in a bit of a different direction. And so I'm kind of curious to see like what her writing style is going to develop into in this particular book. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it soon. I was also really excited about The Unworthy by Agustina Basterica. I actually read that over the weekend on a camping trip. It was enjoyable. I don't know if it was quite as good as Tender as the Flesh for me, but I did still really like it. That was another really hyped release for me, but there are many, many more, honestly. I couldn't tell you. I probably have a list of like 100 releases this year that I'm excited about. So let me set up a reading sprint timer and then we can delve into things. So I'm going to set it up for 15 minutes as usual because that seems to work out pretty well. And then hopefully we can all make a little bit of progress. I think I'm going to focus on chlorine initially just because I want to get this done. There's about 75 pages left in this one, so I think I could finish it up today. I'm hoping to read a bunch this weekend. I need to finish Beautiful Ugly. Well, I hope that you are able to carve out some reading time this weekend then. I am transferring to a new store location. Like today is like my first day in this location, and my schedule for the next 2 weeks is actually the old manager's schedule. So I had to like pick up what hours he'd already scheduled himself for, unfortunately, which is like completely counter to how I normally schedule myself. So the next 2 weeks are a little weird for me. But after that, I can get back into scheduling my own routine. June has some interesting things coming up for me. So kind of looking forward to getting into June. Hey, Sheila. Hi. I hope your days have been good. My day has been good so far. It's just getting started. It's only 9 o'clock here. Got a coffee and a really great raspberry cheese Danish. Took Luna to the lake, had a nice walk around the lake, got some sunshine this morning. And yeah, just going to get in some reading sprints, get a little bit done around the house. And then I got to head to work. I work like 1:30 to 10 tonight. So good luck. Thank you so much. All right. So I got 15 minutes on the clock. Hopefully everybody's got their books, their drinks, their blankets, whatever you need to be comfortable for your reading sprint. And let's see if we can make some progress. 15 are on the clock. I'll see you guys at the end. Lay down, mamas. right. There is our first reading sprint. So I made it to page 135. Decent progress. About 10 pages for me. How did you guys do? Let's see. Started reading You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. I'm guessing that's a thriller. How are you liking it so far? Is it holding your attention? This is good. I feel like I'm starting to get to the climax of the story. So our main character is in her junior year now, and she's setting up for a swim competition. And she is like the anticipated winner of the butterfly and the butterfly leg of the medley relay. And like right as she's getting ready for this very important meet, her period starts, and she has like excruciating periods. So it's not a good thing, obviously. It's been good. I'm glad that it has been holding your interest and like a good thriller so far. I actually started The God of the Woods by Liz Moore the other day because I was looking for something a little different, and I don't read a ton of thrillers anymore, but I was like, oh, I've been hearing really good things about this particular one, so I picked it up just out of interest to see if it's good. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a little bit longer, so I'll probably be kind of like listening / reading it for the next couple of days, but I'm enjoying that one so far. Cool deal. Well, I'm going to set up that next sprint, and then we will go from there. It's been a fast read, and the creepy hasn't kicked in yet first time. Fair. I think that's the thing that I do actually really like about thrillers is that they're usually pretty like engaging fast reads. Like even the ones that I've been like, it wasn't that surprising. I do feel like I get through them pretty quickly. I do like that. And I think that's why I picked up The God of the Woods for a little bit, was like I've been reading a lot of literary stuff and heavier topics. And it was kind of, not that the thriller doesn't have a heavy topic, but just more it's like the way that it presents the topic sometimes is a little less heavy, if that makes sense. So I've been, it's been a good change of pace for a little bit. How's everybody else doing with their sprint so far? Anybody make any progress on their books or their goals for that last one? Okay. Well, I've got 15 minutes on the clock again. It's 9:27, so I'll see you just before 9:45. right. There's the end of that sprint. Let's see. Sheila, that one was bonkers, and I called the twist almost right away, but then I was still surprised by another. Awesome. Love a good bonkers thriller. I made it to page 153, so getting there, making progress. This book goes to 237. Oh, I thought I only had like 70 pages left, but I guess I had a little more than that. We'll see if I can get this finished today, hopefully. All right. How's everybody doing? Oh, so nice. These sprints. I'm really enjoying just this like dedicated reading time in the morning. I missed this a lot when I was away from YouTube. Just having some time to like sit and enjoy a coffee and like get into a book and relax. Especially like, considering tonight, I have to go to work. So it's kind of a nice like moment for myself before I have to like go be on for everybody else. I've made progress on my post. I'm switching to my book now. Awesome. Well, hopefully you're going to make some progress on your book too. I think I'm going to just recline myself a little bit, adjust, and then we'll get on to this next sprint. Good morning. I just joined. I'm reading Clara and the Sun. Good morning, Cynthia. I really enjoyed Clara and the Sun. Ishiguro is an author that I really, really like in general. I would say that Clara and the Sun for me was like kind of like in the ranking of all his books that I've read so far, kind of on the higher end of the middle. It wasn't necessarily like my favorite. Never Let Me Go is probably my favorite of his work, but I would say like Clara and the Sun was just under that. So a really solid read, I thought, and I just really love his writing style. Spike took my bookmark out, so now I have to find my spot. So this is kind of a fun story. So Spike is one of my mom's cats. She has two cats, Spike and Stormy, and Spike is an orange cat. And if you are a cat owner, you'll know that a lot of orange cats are kind of mischievous. So Spike has learned that my mom uses those bookmarks for something important. And when he doesn't get what he wants, like if she doesn't wake up on time to let him out or give him food, he will pull her bookmarks out of her books. He's learned to like yank the bookmarks out. So my mom is like losing her place in the books because he's pulling bookmarks out. So that's fun. I think it's hilarious that he figured that out. Probably not so hilarious in terms of like the reading and finding your place again, but it is pretty amusing that he figured out that like of the things that would bother my mom, pulling a bookmark out of a book would bother her. So, cats, sometimes I don't think we give them enough credit for how smart they are. So let's set up another reading sprint timer, and then we can get started with this next round. All right, we got 15 minutes on the clock. I will see you guys in a little bit, just after 10 a.m. my time. Luna, you're snoring, Mama. Luna, you're snoring, Mama. Luna, hey, Mama. You're snoring away, baby girl. You come cuddle us? Wanna have some cuddles with Mama? Come on up. There you go. I know what you. And lay down. There you go. Get comfy. Lay down. Come on. Lay down right here. There you go. Okay. Right. More progress. Let's see. Trying to figure out where to put things now that Luna's on my lap. Okay. How are we doing with our books? I made it. Oh, Luna's moving. I made it to page 167. So we're making some good progress. Hopefully I'll be able to finish this book today. Got about an hour and 15 minutes left. So hello, everybody. Hey, Nadim, how are you doing today? Thanks for popping in. Hi, Luna. Luna says hello. She's having a nap. What are you reading today, Nadim? I read 8 pages and now I need more coffee. More coffee sounds like a good plan. I'm actually feeling a little bit sleepy myself, so I'm going to probably chug some of this coffee here in a minute. See, I'm currently reading Brain Damage by Frida McFadden. Awesome. More thrillers. I think there's a couple people reading some thrillers today. So that's exciting. All right, let me get set up for this next sprint. All right, 15 minutes is on the clock. I will see everybody at the end. Okay, there's the end of that reading sprint. I made it to page 191. So close to being done with this book. Let's see. I'm currently reading. Oh, we got that comment already. All right, so page 191 out of 237. So 40 more pages to go. I think I can finish this one today. Yeah, this book is really interesting. So it's definitely like a psychological horror / kind of a thriller almost, but very literary too. I really like the overall concept of it, but I'm really struggling with the amount of very visceral, like body horror and descriptions in this. I mean, I get where it's going and like why, but I think I could have used a little bit less of that at some points. I think sometimes people like overdo it with that in an effort to make things like edgier. And I don't know. I just don't know if it's working the way that the author intended it to in terms of the body horror part of it. Like there's parts that are really successful, but there are other parts where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if all of it was necessary. But overall, a good story so far. I'm not disappointed. I do think this concept of becoming a mermaid and like this obsession with swimming is super interesting. So, how are you guys doing? How are your books going? Anything interesting happening? Any big surprises? Luna's busy napping away here after her busy morning of going for a walk and like coming home to have breakfast and lay on the ground. Such a spoiled dog. All right, well, I guess I'll start this next sprint. Get it set up anyways. Ugh, I don't like graphic horror. I read 8 more pages. Awesome, 8 pages of progress. I think we're up to 16 pages for you so far for the day. I don't know. It's like, it's not graphic in a slasher sense. Like, it's not like bloody and gory. It's more just like, there's a lot of descriptions of like bodily functions in this particular book. And like, I don't know that it's that necessary as much as they do it. Like, I think that this could be used a couple times throughout the novel really effectively, but I do think it's like been overdone within this book a little bit. So I don't know. Overall, I think I still am really enjoying this book. I just feel like maybe I could have used a little bit less of like the descriptions of bodily functions. All right, 15 more minutes are on the timer. I'm probably going to run maybe 2 to 3 more sprints. And then from there, I'll probably have to move forward with my day as I have to go to work this afternoon. So I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Okay. Right. There is our timer. We're at 213 pages on my book here. I think I'm finally getting to the end. I'm at chapter 19. And I think there's only 20 chapters in total. So I think I might be able to finish this up in that last sprint. Say hi. Hey, Caitlin, I'm taking my lunch break from work and reading A Sign of Her Own by Sarah Marsh. Thank you for popping in, Michelle. How are you doing? Hopefully your workday is not going too badly. I have a workday coming up soon as well. I have to go into work at 1:30 my time. So I've got about 3 hours left to my morning before I got to start transitioning to the work thing. Yeah, this ending is getting very interesting. I think I could kind of see this twist coming, where this was going to some degree. Maybe not like literally the exact specifics of it, but definitely kind of had a vague idea of what was going to happen. So I'm not necessarily surprised with the direction. But I'll be curious to see how this gets wrapped up. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to finish this in the next sprint. So hopefully everyone else is making good progress as well. Sorry, I'm just a little bit sleepy here this morning. Luna clearly is sleepy too. She's knocked out. She's just been like a little log. Okay, well, since there's no updates at the moment, I guess I'll go ahead and set up this next 15-minute sprint. What are we at? 10:40. So I'm probably going to read maybe 2 more sprints, maybe even 3 if there's enough people around for it and people are interested. But for sure, at least 2 more, I think. So 15 minutes are on the clock. I'll see you guys at Sorry about that there. Somehow I accidentally clicked away from the stream, but we're still here. So let's get that next sprint going. I'm going to restart it since I accidentally did that. All right, 15 minutes are on the clock. Let's go ahead and get going with that last sprint. Luna, Mama. Hey. There we go. All right, guys, we were end of that 15-minute reading sprint. I did end up finishing Chlorine. Definitely an interesting ending. Kind of went where I was expecting it to go. I don't know if it really did anything that was like shocking, but it was an enjoyable story. It was an interesting looking at competitive swimming and the pressures of like athletes trying to get college scholarships and all sorts of different things. So overall, a pretty good read, I think. Which means now that that's done, I'm just going to be focusing on After Parties by Anthony Viazna-So. So I'm going to read that for our next sprint here. And then next week, I'm just going to focus on that book and getting a bunch of short stories knocked out. So I think I have time for one or two more sprints. So I'm going to set up one more. And then after this next one, we'll see how everyone's feeling. And then let me know like how you're doing with your progress. Have you got some pages read, got something completed that you had on your list of to do? Tell me all about it. Finished a cup of coffee, cleaned my room, and read 12 pages. Look at that. Very productive, Nadim. Good job. All right. Let me get this set up here. Let me get the next. Oh, I'm halfway through my book. I need to eat some breakfast. Yeah, lunch is next on my list after the sprints are over. I did have a pastry this morning. This coffee shop I go to makes the best danishes. They have these like fresh raspberry cheese danishes, and I don't know what they do differently, but like whatever the sugar to cream cheese ratio is, it's like the perfect balance. They're not like sickeningly sweet, but they're not like bitter either. I mean, they're so good. So anyways, but I do need to eat some like actual, like a real meal before I go into work. Okay. 15 minutes on the clock. We'll check back around 11:10 my time, and then we'll assess if there's going to be one more sprint. In fact, let me know in the comments during the sprint if you want one more sprint after this one. Jumping down. right. So I made it about 13 pages into the next story in After Parties. It is about a badminton team and their coach. And it's an interesting relationship so far. So we'll see where this one goes. Let's see. I'm drinking my iced coffee and I'm on chapter 3, page 149. These chapters are longer. Yes, one more sprint sounds good. Perfect. I'm here for it. I can stay for one more. Perfect. I'll do another sprint if other people want to. Well, we've got 3 people that have said that they're interested in another sprint so far. I have the time right now, so I think I'm good with that. So let me go ahead and set up another sprint. Read 15 pages. Awesome. Let me get that set up real quick, and then we can do that one more sprint, and that'll probably be my last one for the day because I need a little bit of time to eat and get ready for work and whatnot. So 15 minutes are on the clock. I'll see you at the end. Let's see. right, there is the end of that last reading sprint. I made it to page 63. So I am very happy with my progress. This reading sprint, this whole sprint, I finished like 100 pages on chlorine, and I made it about 33 pages into After Parties. So the story that I mostly read from After Parties was about badminton, and a badminton team, and like the coach basically falling apart, which is funny because the school that I went to, we had a very prominent badminton team. It was like a really big thing. And so there was just like bits and pieces of it that reminded me of my own high school experience and some of my time growing up. And then the next chapter that I started is, or not the next chapter, but the next story that I started is about this young girl named Molly, and her family is anticipating the birth of a new cousin. And that cousin is presumed to be the reincarnation of Molly's mother, who died a couple decades past. So this is going to be a really interesting story, I think. Anyways, I'm enjoying After Parties so far. Like I said, I think I've talked about this a couple times, but I thought that there would be a lot that would be kind of familiar from my own growing up experiences in Southern California. And so far there is. I'm really enjoying the little pieces of connection that I'm finding with the stories. So I'm looking forward to getting more into that. And then next week, depending on how far I've made it into After Parties, I may get a little more into Trinity. I'm going to try to finish up those couple books before the end of the month. So a big thank you to everybody for popping in for sprints today. It was so exciting. Lots of people popping in and saying hello. Many people popping in all at once, which was exciting. I'm just so glad that these reading sprints are working out well for everybody. And I look forward to continuing them through June. So I do have a reading sprint scheduled next week on Thursday. I believe it's also 9 a.m. Let me take a look really quick. It's hard to remember everything off the top of my head because this month has just been really hectic with work and stuff. But let's see. Yeah, so next week's reading sprint is scheduled for 9 a.m. I'm really looking forward to that. I think we're going to have a good time with that one. The end of May, we'll finish it up really strong. And then I will be next week scheduling out my reading sprints through June. I think that Thursdays will continue to work for most of the month. The only thing is that there's one week in the month where I know I'm not going to be able to do a Thursday because I'm going to be at a convention from Monday through Thursday, and I will not be able to, unfortunately, take a break to do a reading sprint. But Thursday is the last day of the convention. So depending on the schedule for that, I may be able to schedule that in the evening. So we'll see on that one. But I do anticipate being able to do Thursdays through all of the rest of June, basically. But we shall see when we get there. Actually, I might have to take that back because the third week of June also is a little difficult because I'm going home for my birthday. Anyways, stay tuned. I will have schedules for reading sprints coming up soon. For June. I plan to do them weekly throughout June, but they may be a little bit of a different schedule. So let's see. Thanks for sprints. Thank you for joining. Thanks for the sprints. I'm on page 160. Also happy with my progress. Great. I'm so glad that you made some progress. Thanks for popping in. I have After Parties on my TBR and look forward to getting to it soon. I'm really enjoying it so far. I really like short story collections in general. And this one's really highly rated. I've been meaning to read it for a long time. It's been sitting on my shelf, so I'm very excited to finally get into it. Thank you. I made good progress. A great sprint. I'm so happy to hear that. Again, thank you everybody for popping in. And then I wanted to just mention one other thing really briefly. This weekend on Pango Books, they're going to be having a Memorial Day sale. So if you're looking to do any book shopping over the weekend, there is a little sale thing going on. If you use my channel name, Bandy's Books, like if you haven't set up an account, you can actually get a discount by using my name, Bandy's Books. And I have some great books on sale from my shelf as well. In fact, this whole stack behind me is books that I have listed for sale. And I have quite a wide selection of books there if you're looking for anything good to read. But again, not even to deal with my specific store, all the stores on Pango Books will be having sales over the weekend. So if you're looking for some book shopping, it's a good time to check it out. So thank you everybody for stopping in and saying hello, making this a great morning. I really enjoyed my time with you all today, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. I have some videos coming up over the week, and I will be back on Sunday night for my weekly update. And then I'll see you next Thursday for a reading sprint. Bye, everybody.